folks, John Cordisco back again. Going to give you my opinions, what I think is going to happen or what might happen in the upcoming World Chess Championship match 2016 played here in New York City. I live in upstate New York, so it's not too far. Pretty exciting that it's in the United States. I'm going to start off with some of the thoughts on the match itself. I start out with, as you can see here, a picture of Sergei Karyakin and Magnus Carlsen when they were both very young. I say very young because they're young now. Give you an idea, if you put both their ages together, I'm still 10 years older than both of them put together, so it makes them young to me. And the point I was trying to make by showing this picture is they both basically grew up in the same era. Now, granted, Karyakin was originally from Ukraine. Magnus is from Norway, which is not known as a chess country, at least back then. But they're the children of the computer age. They've always known powerful computers for openings, analysis. They've never known anything else. And the huge databases that are available now to both players, and where they can see a game that was played an hour ago and analyze it and check out openings. So I think for that, they're pretty much even. Even in the fact that they both started out with the same advantages, and I think that part of it will make them very equal in this match. And I'm going to give some opinions on some other things, but I do want to say, as far as their upbringing goes, I think they're both very evenly matched. Now let's move on to some of the other traits of the current world champion Magnus Carlsen and the challenger Sergei Karyakin. Their backgrounds are much different. One grew up in the post-Soviet bloc, Ukraine, changed to the Russian Federation a few years ago. Magnus was something from a country that has some decent players, but not a lot of long chess history. As far as playing ability goes, they're both incredibly talented and good players. No question. There's no way Karyakin could have won the candidates final without being a great player. They both have natural ability. They both have great talent. But Magnus seems to have that little bit extra. Now, I watched a series of videos called My Story about Garry Kasparov. Himself and an English GM go through tons of games. They talk about a lot of things in his climb up the chess ladder for Garry Kasparov. And the one thing that Garry said that Boris Spassky told him, Mikhail Tal told him, Botvinnik told him, that all things being equal, there's tournaments, there's a candidates final, there's tournaments you play in normally. The World Championship is much, much, much different. And Garry explains how he really didn't realize that. And if you remember the first Karpov-Kasparov match, Kasparov was down 5-0. Managed to fight his way back, and that fiasco, they went on forever, then they restarted the whole match over. But what he did learn was, the hard way, that the World Championship match is very, very different. And the world champion has an advantage at all things being equal. So I think Sergei's going to have to overcome that. I think, to be honest with you, I've seen him in interviews. He seems like a nervous type. He's not a bad guy. He's a nice guy. He seems to have a very nice wife. He just seems a little shy. And hopefully that won't carry over into his playing. This is the World Championship. And you are in New York City, which is the media capital of the world. Going to be a lot of attention. We'll see how Sergei can handle that pressure and that attention, being as shy as he is. And Magnus, of course, now, this is his third World Championship match. The first one he beat Anand to get the title. The second one he beat Anand to defend his title. Now this is his third time. I think Magnus is a little more used to it now. So I think he'll be on the nervous situation. I think Magnus will be very much better. We'll see how Sergei Karyakin can handle his nerves, because that's going to be a big deal in your play. All his players know, no matter for lowly players like us or world champions like these guys, nerves play a huge factor in how you play. As far as history goes between Carlsen and Karyakin, I don't have the exact numbers in front of me. I'm not going to count rapid or blitz games. Frankly, I don't think they're really mean anything for the World Championship classical games. I believe Carlsen is up +4 on Karyakin. That's my understanding, if I remember correctly. And not that Karyakin has never beaten him before, but he is -4 to Magnus. I think that will play a significant role mentally for Karyakin. It's going to be tough. It really is. And I think what's going to have to happen is this. It's going to matter how badly Karyakin wants it. Now, Karyakin isn't known for taking big chances. But as Garry Kasparov said, the World Championship match is a match that's entirely different from any other match you've ever played in. You have to beat the world champion. It's very much like boxing. If you tie the world champion in points, you lose. You have to beat him. And so in order for Sergei Karyakin to do that, I think he's going to have to take some chances. Now, granted, he has a very huge team, I have no doubt. Magnus has got a great team, too, for his preparation. But remember, Karyakin has the entire Soviet chess machine behind him and all the Eastern Bloc countries behind him as far as helping him goes. I'm not sure who he brought to New York. I think they keep that under wraps. But he'll be very well prepared. Karyakin will. And so will Carlsen. Prepared as far as openings go. They'll be very well prepared. And as we all know, sometimes we see interviews with grandmasters, especially at this level. They'll analyze a game and they'll say, at this point, I was trying to remember my preparation. And that's where nerves comes in. And we'll see if Karyakin can hold his nerve and remember his preparation. But as far as head-to-head goes, Magnus certainly has a big advantage over Karyakin. Now I think it's a time where I can start making some predictions. Good thing about predictions are you can make all these crazy predictions. When they come true, you're a genius. And when they don't come true, they can say, well, they were just predictions. So I'm going to give you my thoughts on what I think is going to happen. Oh, by the way, it's going to be kind of a treat. November 11th through the 30th is the schedule for the World Championship. And November 16th is my birthday. So it came at a very opportune time. So I'm really looking forward to this. I'll be 60 years old on the 16th of November. And I remember in 1972 in the Fischer-Spassky match and how it just mesmerized the world. And me included, I was a young boy. I was just 15. And how my love of chess started with that and never left. Now, we're not going to get the worldwide front page coverage on this match as we did back then. But I think in Europe it's going to be huge. Now, how New York handles it in the media and the television networks here in the United States, we'll have to see. But there's going to be plenty of coverage. The organizers had kind of a little to do concerning showing the moves online. There's some lawsuits, but my understanding is they're going to have a short delay, 10, 15 minutes. So you're going to get all the coverage from chess.com, ICC. There's going to be a lot of coverage on different websites, Chess24. All those guys are going to have the games with commentary. So there's going to be plenty of chances to see the World Championship. And for many Like when ICC or Chess 24 or any of those, they have a YouTube channel. I know Chess 24 does. So you probably could watch it after the fact if you're working, because they're going to start at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Eastern Standard Time in the U.S. You'll be able to see the whole match just as if it was live. It's like you record a football game or a soccer game. If you're watching the replay and you don't know what the results are, it's just the same as live. So I think there's going to be tens of millions watching it overall. My other thoughts are, who has the strongest will and personality? I give the edge to Magnus. He has this driving will that he'll just take a stagnant, dead position and just grind you and grind you and grind you. Now, Karyakin, of course, can hold his own against that, but it takes a lot of mental and physical energy to do that. We'll see if Karyakin's up to the task. I think what's going to happen is this. The first 1, 2, 3 games are going to be fairly calm. I could be wrong, but I believe they're going to be fairly calm as the players adjust into the playing schedule. The first person to win a game, I think, will win the match. That's just my opinion. Now, I do have to say a caveat that if Karyakin does win the first game, Magnus will just go all out. He'll roll the dice. We'll see what happens. But I believe the person that wins the game, first game, will probably be an excellent chance, I say 80 to 85% chance to win the match. A lot of psychology in chess. A lot of psychology. We all know this as chess players, even just average players like us. A lot of mental psychology is involved. Your confidence, how you see things, your state of mind. I believe whoever loses the first game is going to be put under the gun. Now, I think Magnus's fighting spirit is greater than Karyakin's. If Karyakin wins the first game, I think Magnus can really fight his way back, but it'll be tough for him. Now he's got something to lose. When he won the match 1 against Anand, he became the world champion. I think he thought he was going to win the second match, even though Anand put up a much greater fight. But I think for real this time, Magnus thinks, I finally have something to really lose. And we'll see how that affects his play. He's got all of Norway. He's a big, huge superstar there. Norwegian television is showing all the games live. It's like in the U.S. here being a superstar sports player. All the eyes are on you, and you can't screw up. But I think Magnus is going to be put to the test, much greater than before. And nothing against Anand, he's a great player. But I think this is the first big test for Magnus. Now I'm going to give my predictions now. What I really think is going to happen. It's a 12-game match. Played from November 11th through November 30th. Any of you that know the Northeast United States, the weather's fairly decent in November. It's not really cold, just cool, especially in New York City. Magnus is from Norway. Karyakin is from Ukraine, lives in Russia. So both of these guys have the same climate. So they're going to feel very comfortable. I'm sure the combinations they're going to have are top-notch as well. It's a 12-game match. They start at 2 in the afternoon, I believe, every scheduled day. Gives them plenty of time to sleep in. As we all know, chess players are notorious. They're not morning people at all. I believe if they go all 12 games, I don't think that's going to happen. The first one to reach 6.5 wins, of course. I personally think it'll be 6.5 Magnus, 4.5 Karyakin. Game 11 will decide it. I believe it'll be 5.5 to 4.5 on Game 10. Karyakin will be down a game. In Game 11, he'll try to go all out, especially with the white pieces. I believe Magnus will pull it off. That's my personal prediction. I'm kind of sticking my neck out here, though. 6.5 for Magnus, 4.5 for Karyakin. Now, I don't recall if they're going to play all 12 games. I don't believe they are, if there is a winner. But that's my prediction. We'll see how it holds up. 6.5, 4.5. But I will say this, folks. Stay tuned for these games because there's going to be some great games here. They're not all going to be fighting chess and masterpieces, but I believe way more than half are. I think it's going to be worth watching for the first time in a very long time. Two very young players from the same generation battle it out for the world title. So stay tuned. I'll be showing some of the games, analyzing them as they are played, as time permits for me. And I want to thank you all for viewing and listening to this preview. And please, if you have any suggestions or comments on what I thought was going to happen or any of the comments concerning the players, please certainly leave them in the comments. And if you could subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it as well. And as I always say, folks, if you think chess is just a game, you're not playing it right. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.